Hi, my name is Zoe, and I hate intros, so let's get right into it. You read the title, you know that I'm dyeing all my ugly yarn a different color. Here's the yarn I'm using. It's Rit dye. I bought it a while ago. It's the powder version. It's royal blue and dark green. Let's go over to my yarn stash and show you the yarn we're gonna be dyeing. It's not normally in this position, but for filming purposes, it is going to be. Let me give a little bit of context as to why I've decided I'm dyeing all this yarn. Not all of it, God no. But it's because I do a lot of natural dyeing, if you saw my video last week, and sometimes I mess up. And there's quite a few of those. And they're not always terrible. Like, this one's not that bad, but I don't really love yellow. Sorry to the fans of yellow out there, it's just not my color. So this is one of them. The great thing about this one is that I never took it out of its skein, so I can still dye it. I also thrift a lot of my yarn. This is thrifted like Icelandic wool, and this is a sweater I unraveled that I actually did knit quite a bit with. It's naturally dyed onion, buckthorn, sumac, and I don't love the colors of it, truth be told. So this is another one that I'm going to dye, except the problem is it's not in skeins because I've been knitting with it, so I need to re-skein it. Other example of this would be this one. I was really determined a while ago to try to dye pink with avocados. I have failed every single time. It's actually embarrassing how bad I failed. This is not my first attempt, by the way. This is like number 3. It's just a beige, and I don't want to knit with beige, so I need to re-skein this and dye it a different color. We have more. It's rag yarn, so it's just cloth that I've kind of cut into a long strip of fabric, except I was going to use it in a tapestry, but it was too like stark white, which was the original reason why I dyed the other yarn that I was using. Long story short, this is not the color I need it to be, and is actually what set me off on this quest. So I need to skein this up so that I can dye it in the blue. Cotton linen, maybe? I think it's just cotton. I dyed it with marigold. It's not terrible, it's just not a very deep color. These were in the same vat together, and they were and I was dyeing with marigold. So it went very yellow, and this went kind of greeny nothing. So I also want to dye this one. This one, I'm still debating. It's more kind of rag yarn, as I call it. It's like a yellow gingham situation, but I kind of just want to chuck some blue on it, or even green, and see what comes of, just because I think it'll be nice. And I also want to knit with this. There's also, I was debating, but now I think I've decided, these two little bits as well. If you've seen my natural dyeing video, you will have seen my many quests, and what went wrong with all of them, but so encouraging. But these are 2 examples of that where I'm just not super satisfied with the results, and I just want to dye them blue, and I feel like that'll be fun. Then I also have these 2 shirts. They're just these thrifted shirts. This one I tried to dye with cochineal, but clearly I did not mordant very well. But I've washed it like 3 or 4 times now, and I can't get the little pink stains out. So we're gonna over dye it. This one I want to do blue. I have this shirt that I think I did like a whole like mordanting, tanning process, badly probably, and I never actually got around to dyeing it, but it has this yellow stain all over it. But I feel like green over this would probably look nice, and I'd actually wear it. So I'm probably gonna do that as well. So I've got quite the haul really of things I want to dye, and I thought I was gonna have to skein it more, but really I don't think I have to do all that much. Here's the haul, not the haul, but the situation all laid out with George, who's about to try to eat it all. Boo boo boo, little George. And he's running away with it. Lovely. Okay, here's everything I'm planning on dyeing with just 2 packets. The way this is gonna work is I need to separate stuff into two separate piles, blue and green. And then obviously I'm not gonna dye everything at once. My kind of plan is that I'm going to do, like, there's stuff that's gonna go in like the first time, and then with the exhaust baths, which means like the leftover dye, I'm gonna dye more after and just kind of proceed in that manner. These all need to be green. These are gonna go blue. Okay, George, no. This needs to go green. This as well. I guess this can go blue. And then I guess we'll stick this one in the blue as well. And then from the shirts, which George has overtaken, the white one is gonna go green, and then this one's gonna go blue. Before we dye, most important step, pre-soaking. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have one green sink, one blue sink. Not that they're gonna be that color, but just that's how I'm gonna separate the schemes. So. While that's pre-soaking, I'm gonna make the actual like dye vats. First thing to remember, the two pots that I'm using, loud clanging noises ensue, I only use for dyeing. They are my dye pots. I am not using them for cooking. Now that we've got that out of the way. Something else I didn't mention is that largely, barring like one skein, it's been separated by fiber. So the blue pot is all pretty much all cotton linen, and then the green pot is all like wool and stuff, which is gonna play into how we prepare these dye vats. For the blue vat, the cotton vat, you need to put 1 cup of salt, which is a lot. I have this salt left over from past dye stuff. It's not crunched, it really should be. I don't know how well this is gonna dissolve, so I'm gonna put it in straight away. For a animal fiber vat or wool, I'm gonna put in 1 cup of vinegar. If you've seen other previous videos, I use just Dollarama vinegar. I really think it's the easiest thing to do. It says to add 1 like teaspoon of dish detergent. Maybe I'll add that, but like honestly last time I did it just made like, it was weird, but I guess it worked, so maybe I should. I'm gonna do cotton first. Okay, for now, I'm not adding the dish soap, just because I'm like, not too sure if I should, but I'm just gonna heat it to below a boil, is what it instructs. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna prep our second vat. Ooh, whoops. It's been about 30 minutes. I've been checking the temperature. I think it's about at 60 degrees Celsius. I will check. Yeah, perfect. 62. Lovely. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about the green, which is this one, because like it looks very blue. So I'm gonna do the little test with the paper towel. Give me a second to actually get the paper towel. Yeah, see how blue that looks? Well, let's hope it works, because that would be disappointing otherwise. Why is it so blue? I'm gonna do one last little mix. I'm not gonna throw all the yarn in at once. I'm gonna do 2 skeins that are gonna be from the same project. So like the Icelandic kind of looking wool. So 1, oh, I'm scared about that. And this one. This is some yarn. This one is from Hobby, actually. Like it's like the natural oud or something, I believe it's called. Oh my god. It's looking a little blue in my opinion, but we're gonna see what happens. Look how blue that looks. Maybe when it rinses out, I don't know. We're gonna find out. This is a first. Maybe when it dries. I have to remember that. I think that's an important part, is like the color it is when it's wet is not what it's gonna be when it dries. I'm just gonna leave it to do its thing. You're supposed to stir it consistently. I don't do that. I don't have the energy to do that, to be honest. What's it at? Oh, 50. I might just chuck it in. Ooh, that one. See, I feel like noticeable differences between those. Also, the salt dissolved all of it, which is pretty impressive, I think. Okay, let's move this around. Oh, I think I can even put another skein in here. That's quite nice, actually. It's been about 50 minutes. Thankfully, it looks like the yarn kind of changed to green. It's looking green. And I've kind of just decided that I'm gonna take it out now. I'm not gonna leave it in longer than it needs to be left in. My plan is, I have these like Home Depot buckets, and since stuff is still pre-soaking in the sink, I can't really like rinse stuff out. I have 2. I'm gonna put the green stuff in one Home Depot bucket, I'm gonna put the blue stuff in another Home Depot bucket, and then I will rinse it after. I really should be wearing gloves. Don't look. Oh. Okay. Oh shit. This was dumb. This was not my smartest maneuver. Oh, I'll give you that much. Ooh, it's hot. Oh, ow. Definitely could have just taken that off the heat to get it out of there, but it's fine. I'm gonna add all the yarn that was pre-soaking for the green now. I know it's odd to re-dye green, but I just think it'll look... I want stuff in like similar tones, so I can almost use it in the same project, basically. But don't know how the orange one is gonna go. A little curious to see how that one dyes. I'm not gonna think about it too much, but we'll see. Check back in a second. And since the sink is now empty, I'm gonna put in our dress shirt to pre-soak, because that's going in at the end. This is the update on the blue vat. It's looking pretty good. You can probably see these little green pieces here. That's just because there was paint on those bits. I did like some block printing, but it was kind of ugly and I didn't love it, which is part of the reason it got torn into fabric yarn. But it's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna take it out now, and then we'll add the last bit of the yarn for the blue. Let's be a little better at this then. Oh, what if I just took all the yarn out at once? That seems not a good idea. Oh, what am I doing? Ow, okay. Did not go any better, but hey. What are you gonna do? Oh. Ooh. Oh my god, that's... happened. Okay, in it goes. This is a cotton linen skein, I believe, from Knit Picks that I tried to dye with marigold. That's going in. And then this is the one time I'm crossing boundaries, if you will. I'm putting in like a mini skein of alpaca. This was from my natural dye video. So my parents ended up coming home, so I was not speaking anymore in the recording, but here I am just taking out the yarn and adding in the dress shirt. You can definitely tell that the dyes were no longer very green. And then I spent probably, I'm not even kidding, 20 minutes just rinsing out the blue. The green came out pretty easily, like it didn't take too many rinses, but I swear to God, even by the last blue rinse that I did, there was still color coming off. It was actually ridiculous. And then here we have the blue dress shirt. As you can tell, the color is still so strong. It's quite impressive, really. And even when I dumped it out, like, I feel like I could have dyed more with that blue. It was genuinely, like, there was a lot left in that dye pot. And then that's the green one in the back, which for some reason is purple. I didn't really understand. And then you'll see when I take out the dress shirt, it's a light blue. It's very confusing. I have theories that I'll explain as to why this happened. But yeah, it was very odd. And then here everything is drying, and the blue was literally staining my towels. And then here you have the green stuff. Result time. We'll start with the blue bath because I feel like that was definitely the most successful one. Go in like waves as I dyed stuff. So here's wave 1. The cloth yarn, it's so blue, it's crazy. The blue gingham, you can't even really tell. Like it just looks like one like dyed fabric. And then this one, the yellow gingham, you can kind of still see the gingham pattern a little more. We have the blue yarn. So this was like the first exhaust bath. So like the second stuff that went in after the cloth yarn. Very vibrant, really lovely. There's obviously some slight color variation, and that's probably a mix of like pre-soaking and then also like they were already dyed, so there was like color variation from that. But I really love the results, and like I'll use this way more than what they were before. And we have the dress shirt that I'm literally wearing. I'll show you a better try on clip of that one, but yeah, still so blue, which is really crazy. Like that dye is so vibrant. Like it dyed all of this, and I swear it probably could have dyed more. Well worth your money. Then we have the green, which was very odd. I remember saying like, oh, this does not look green in the dye pot, and it definitely didn't. The first round came out, I would say, exactly the color that I was expecting. Very lovely. They're almost identical, which is pretty impressive because they were very different colors to start off with, right? And like this is kind of exactly what I wanted, so I'm pretty pleased with that. But then we get to the second round of things, which had some interesting results. It's all of this. So definitely some went green. Like this one I believe was the beige skein, went pretty green. These 3, I genuinely can't even remember what they were. I think one of these was the green one and it went kind of blue, which is a bit odd. Like I would say a bluer green. Like they're not that close, but I would say they're in the same like tonal family of these ones. And then the orange one shockingly did pretty good at going green, I guess because it's close to yellow, so if the vat was kind of blue. This one was already green as well, or like greeny blue, but it's there. When we put the dress shirt in, number 1, I think the dress shirt was way too big to go in that dye pot, so that's probably like maybe some of the slight color variations we see. I have to pull George off it, but it was super blue. I mean, not super blue, but it went like light blue. Not a trace of green to be found on this one. I think probably the main reason for this, and my hypothesis, so I might be wrong, is that the green dye is a mix of blue and yellow dye, that's how normally stuff like that is dyed. I'm pretty sure. Yellow was probably mostly absorbed by the first round of things, and then like the little bit of yellow that there was left in the dye was absorbed here, and all that was really left in the dye pot was the blue. That's, I believe, if I remember correctly, because I did kind of learn this in school, so I should know, but that blue dye is way stronger than yellow dye, so you actually have to do like a lower percentage of blue dye to yellow dye to get green. And so that's my guess, is that all the yellow got absorbed earlier on, and then at the end there was just blue left. I'm pretty sure. Love the results for the blue. Love this dress shirt. I have to say these, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do with them now, because I was kind of anticipating them going to like a closer color range. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them. I think my original plan for them has definitely shifted, but hey, we'll figure something out, I'm sure. Worst comes to worst, they go into a scrappy project. For this dress shirt, not even gonna lie, I do like the color. The color's not bad. It's definitely not the most even of situations, as you can see, because of the small pot it was in. So I might over dye this one, especially I think it definitely could take more. But for now, I'm gonna try to style it as is, and we'll go from there. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week. I know it was like a little bit of a smaller video. I don't really know. See you next week.